Hey, real estate friends, we are back with the Kevin Harris, business coach, master trainer, speaker, motivator, all of the
I'm
above.
getting more titles as we do this.
Oh, I know. I'm sharing more. They only know a little bit about you. Yeah, we'll have to do a whole origin story with you so they can get to know your whole, I guess, business changes and involvement through your career, yet they're all in the same industry, which at the end of the day has been coaching. So, but today we want to bring value to you from two real estate coaches in the house and talk about procrastination. Oh, such a hard topic. We've all procrastinated.
Can we wait a little bit before we talk about it?
Yeah, let's postpone this video for later. It's a lot. So yeah, so I think we can tackle this and really bring some insight with educating them on pain and pleasure and the quadrant of pain versus pleasure, the twin forces of pain versus pleasure, how we can associate an activity with pain or we can associate the exact activity with pleasure, how the activity itself is not what causes the pain or pleasure, and how we are wired to obviously run from pain. We're just wired. It's in our DNA. And we are wired to always look for pleasure. But what happens when the things we are running to, which are pleasurable, actually cause a lot of pain and destroy our life? Like drinking or alcohol or food. There's so many addictions out there that are pleasurable and turn toxic. Or what happens when the things that are supposed to cause us great pain bring us massive reward, such as working out and eating healthy? How about giving birth? Talk about pain. Or how about cold calling? Talk about pain. Yet these activities in themselves sound like they're painful, but really they become pleasurable, and it's all about our association with the activity. So, Kevin, what brilliant topics do you want to go over in this section?
Well, it is something that is near and dear to my heart because I think everybody deals with this. I've not met even the people that I'm peers with, that I've been in big rooms with, that make hundreds of millions of dollars, still struggle with this concept because, like you said, we're hardwired to run away from pain and to run towards pleasure. And almost without exception, the things that we can get immediate pleasure for are almost never long-term good for us.
Yes.
But yet it's so counterintuitive to our DNA to not take that, to eat the cheeseburger when we're hungry, to have a bad day and go have drinks and things like that. All the things that we've all done and probably still do to some level. But we all, I always say this when I'm talking with business owners. If you're watching this, how many people watching this do not realize that it's good to eat healthy, like it's good for you, right? Everybody knows that it's good for us, but yet 81% of people in America wait until they start changing their lifestyle until something painful happens, whether it's a surgery, whether it's a doctor, whether it's a medication. Well, why is that? And, as coaches, we look at things a little differently, and we're always analyzing stuff like this to maybe better help our clients. And one of the things that I've thought about is the reason is, in my opinion, is simply because we are comfortable in the pain that we know. We know that it's not good for us to do certain things, but we know how hard it perceived is for us to change those habits, right? To change the thing, to do the hard things for a little bit so that we can have the things that we ultimately want. Like most people in America want good financial, resources. They want a healthy body. They want the six-pack. They want all these things. But the pain to get there, the sacrifice, the discipline is perceived as being so hard that they'll just sit in where they are right now and be okay with it, at least, on a day-to-day basis. But what I know is, and I know you know this from building the companies that you've built, as you go through that pain, if you listen to any top performers, you listen to the NFL top performers, the elite athletes, the elite business owners, almost without exception, they have taken what they want to and ingrained it at such a level that the pain became the process, and the process became, it wasn't painful anymore because they understood that where they were trying to go. And I think the biggest thing is with most people is they just don't sit down and take the time to define what they truly want to go after. They think they do. They kind of have an idea that it's a decent goal, but it's the January 1st to January, 19th before everybody quits their January 1st goals.
Right.
Because they don't actually sit down and actually go, do I really want this? Is this something that I really want? And then really get so granular that it's not even an option anymore. And if, on the things that we do that on, we almost always change.
There's change. So if you associate the pain of not eating that bonbon, the pain of not having the pizza, if there's greater association with that pain than there is with the pain of dying of a heart attack. See, it doesn't become real. The pain of putting on that bikini or Speedo. I know you're a Speedos guy.
Well, it's
putting your bikini and being publicly embarrassed just because you don't look how you look. So to me, the activity or lack of activity is the association that you have created in your head. So this conversation about procrastination should be empowering because you have the power to create a new way of associating pain or pleasure with the activity. So let's talk about lead generation. Is cold calling painful?
It is always going to be something you don't want to do. I don't care what the result is. There is always going to be that moment where you don't want to do it. That's just a fact.
It's true. And the same as going to the gym or eating healthy all the time. So we're going to do it, and it could get easier, but the association is there. But then, is there great pleasure in cold calling?
There is when you get a result. When you start tying the result to the cold call, to the fact that you can't get the result unless you do this. And when you realize, when that connection is made, and it takes a commitment at first, they always say that it takes more discipline in the first 30 days, and then it just gets easier. The discipline does. The habit has to still get created. But the discipline can wane after you've started seeing the result. The first time you get an appointment from calling for sale by owners, it's like you just
it's like a high.
Yeah, it's just like you scored a touchdown. Like, I'm a football coach, right? That's my background. And the reality is, it's like the first time you score that touchdown, it's like just this endorphin rush. But if you don't continue to do it, that pain that pain of cold calling or calling those FSBOs is still there because you don't have enough wins yet. And it's about, like, when I coached football teams, and I coached 2 football teams over many years, from 0 to state producing teams. And both of them, all of the teams that I coached, the biggest thing that we had to overcome was not the fact that they were good at what they did. It wasn't any of the things that you would think. It literally was, when those kids started, they did not have the repetition of winning. And so even when they happened to win a game, they thought it was luck. They thought it just, that team must be bad. It was they couldn't tie their own actions to the win. And it took us kind of forcing them to that discipline and you have discipline when you're on a football team, and that enough of that discipline over time, 3, 4, 5 wins, now all of a sudden they start believing it. And they're still doing the things they don't want to do. But now they understand if they do it, they get the result.
Oh, and then it does start to equate these practices for 2 hours, even though I don't like it that much, but at the same time, it's going to get me this. And if I can do this activity, I'm going to throw better. I'm going to close, whatever you people do in football. I don't know.
Well, I mean, and let's talk real estate.
Yeah.
How many people in our business, their world would transform, like their own personal world would transform with 2 extra deals a month? Just 2. 24 a year, whether it's an extra 2 or whether it's the first 2, right? Because the numbers that we work with and the amount of product, the price of the product that we serve, on average is going to transform most people in our business. Well, there are usually thousands of real estate transactions that happen every single month in any given major market. Like in our market, in the DFW market, in December, it was 9,800 homes. And I always say, how many deals does it make for your dreams to come true? 1, 2, 5? It's not 9,800. But you have to go out there and find those. You don't have to create the business, but you have to go find who's doing the business. And the reality is, if you call for sale by owners or expireds or Sphere or whatever your lead gen is, and you put your head down and you get good at it from the discipline, what you're going to find out is it's not as hard as you think it probably started thinking it was.
Yeah.
Because it's already there. But you're just not in the habit of doing it.
So I always say, a coward, I don't know whose quote is this, but a coward dies 1,000 deaths and a brave man only once. I need to find out who said this quote.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Somebody brilliant, right?
Yeah,
Somebody
right.
brilliant said this before. And I look at that as that the plays that you have in your head 1,000 times. I can't do it. It won't work. They're not going to use me. If I make the call, they won't pick up. Should I call at 8? Should I call at 9? Should I not call at all? Should I call Facebook? Should I call? It's like you're killing yourself 1,000 times. Then if you just one time, just do that one activity and then just get it over with, whether it worked or it didn't work, but you just took action and then evaluate how did it feel afterwards. So I love that. So let's go over, I got my notes here from the Leads workshop, and let's go over the quadrant. So this is the pain versus pleasure quadrant. And I always tell the agents, how do you move somebody or yourself from procrastination or from taking action? And this is a guide. So if you look at a quadrant, I always like to teach it like this. So watch my hands. I go like this, right? So at the top of the quadrant, we have a positive present. That to me is someone's la-la land. A positive present is you think it's going to work. You think everything's fine. You think the house will sell. You think they will accept your 50th lowball offer. You think overpricing the house will work. Like you're in your positive present la-la land attitude. And I, as your agent, have to bring you to the second part of the quadrant, which is your negative present. So I got to take you to understand that. So how many showings have we had? So how many offers have you had? I have to bring you to reality. So what have been the feedback? So how many times have the offers been rejected? Like I ask inquisitive questions for them to have a evaluation and come from their positive present to the reality, which is the negative present. Once we get there, we move them through the quadrant into their negative future. So the negative future is all about what's going to happen to you if it doesn't sell. What's going to happen to you if you don't get the offer accepted? What's going to happen if you can't relocate? What's going to happen? So you create that picture by asking them more questions. Tell me what will happen if we don't sell your house in a month. Tell me what will happen if you have to renew your lease again because you keep writing lowball offers. Tell me what's going to happen. So you take them into that vision of, oh my gosh, my future does not look good. Once you got them from the la-la land into the reality, into what the future looks like, you are essentially inflicting pain throughout the whole situation to take them to the final part, which is the positive future. Now you're going to give them pleasure. Pain, drop the price, painful. But not move and not relocate, even more painful. Writing a full price offer, painful. But renting for the next year, really painful. So you're bringing them pain versus pleasure because people do what, Kevin? They run from
pain.
And they run to
pleasure.
Oh, so we got to take on them. We got to show them the pain and we got to show them the pleasure. So we finish by then doing the positive future of the quadrant, which is telling them, won't it be great once you get to wherever you're moving. Want to be wonderful when your kids are in the school you want. Want to be great when you're 5 minutes from work. Want to be wonderful when you're building equity. So you start pointing that picture of a wonderful future, and now you just walk them. This is what was happening in their head. They didn't know this was happening in the head, and they were making terrible decisions without even putting it together. Why? They were running from the pain, but it was the wrong pain. It's our job to show them the true pain that they have to run from. And this is a skill that takes time, but can be used even on yourself. Like put yourself through the quadrant. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I love that. It is, the great leaders of this country, the great leaders of this world, the great leaders of history, all were great storytellers. Most people, when you ask them how they make decisions, they will tell you they make decisions off of facts. But almost without exception, people make decisions off of feelings. Now, facts may help them feel better, but it's still a feeling that they make decisions off of. So as professionals, this is a sales technique. I call what you just went through, it's a story structure, how to actually tell a story in a way that gets them to move. And this is what I say with what real estate is, and this is why I love real estate. We cannot convince someone to buy a house they don't want to buy or sell a house they don't want to sell. That's not what we do. That's not the type of salespeople we are. But we are sales professionals. They have already made a decision they want to sell a house or buy a house, but they really don't know how to get there, at least most of the time. Our job as professionals is to guide them through that process. And the way we do that at a high level is to make sure that the stories we're telling them help them feel good about the decisions that they have to make to get to their goal that they want to achieve.
That's brilliant.
And the reality is, the better we get at storytelling, the better we use frameworks like this. And to me, it's one of the top frameworks to use because it takes them on that journey of what's going to happen if they don't do the thing that they hired you to do, is tell them the truth and tell them the facts so they can feel better, so that they can then have the thing that they ultimately want, which is selling the house, moving to Florida, whatever it is they're trying to do. And so the better we get at that, the higher conversion we have, but more importantly, because I always come back to this, the better we can serve our clients.
Oh, that is beautiful. I've never taught this as a storytelling, but that's really what it is, because I'm painting a picture
100%
of where you are, where you want to go, what the long-term, short-term, what the true pain is, what the true pleasure is. And we're not manipulating them. Mm-mm. So this is, I love all that you just said right there. Puts it in a great awareness of what our role is, which is not to convince, it's not to sell, it's not to manipulate, it's not to push, it's not to bully. Like I've seen agents, whenever you start a conversation with, Mr. Seller, you have to,
right?
You need to. It's like, you treat someone like a child, they're going to respond and rebel like a child. But you help them self-evaluate and tell them the story, put the picture, the whole story, so they can make a great decision. So I love it. Well, this was great. Hopefully you received some value from this video, and I'm going to put information about the Kevin Harris if you want to get in touch with him. And of course, a sign-up link so you could be part of the entire Leads workshop and learn how to lead generate like a pro. And if you want more great videos to bring value to your business, then definitely subscribe to Talk, Train, and Sell. Ooh, another one down, my friend. Look at this. We're
flying through it. You need to, not now, but I mean later, you need to take the screensaver off.
Where
that would
is
help
the
you a lot.
Yes, that's